I think it was God's timing as well to put us together, because it was the right thing to do. It's silly to think that the business owner has got all the answers, because you have to have people around you that can advise you.
So if you now have to think back over the last 5 years, what concrete results have you seen over that period with our coaching? What stands out for you?
How much time do you have? I think you've also very much helped staff stand on their own 2 feet, be adults, and take accountability, which is huge. So obviously, if we come back to industry, I mean, I'd recommend your coaching to all business owners. But sometimes business owners don't realize that they need the coaching.
Good day. Today we are having Gina Gall from Professional Skincare Lab. She's the owner of Professional Skincare Lab and also the head aesthetic skin therapist there. Welcome, Gina.
Thanks so much, Helena. It's lovely to be here.
Yes, firstly I want to say congratulations on 25 years. I know that you've been celebrating for a full year, 25 amazing years. And it really takes a lot of tenacity, especially in this day and age, to be operating in our industry for 25 years and at the level that you do. So well done.
Thank you. I think it takes a lot of Energizer Bunny juices. Look, I think, and as you know, I think it's passion. You have to love what you do to be able to do it for this long. I think in the industry in particular, it takes a lot of hard work. A lot of people come into the industry thinking it's super easy. It maybe looks it, but I think it takes hard work, it takes dedication, it takes faith, it takes prayer, it takes grit. So, but I also think that it helps, when you're in your business for this long, it's something that you build. I don't necessarily think you have it, or that you have it in the beginning. But certain situations certainly test you. And I think it's like a muscle. The more you use it, you build it. Definitely, for sure.
Okay, cool. So before working with me, what would you say was your biggest frustration in your business?
Where do I start? So, I think we probably met after about 19, we met in about 2019.
I think you were writing articles for my e-magazine. And then I think we met in Cape Town when you were down.
Just before COVID, I do remember that. There were many frustrations, I think, based on the fact that when you first start your business, because of the fact you've got the know-how, you've got the practical skills of being able to do these treatments, and and when I was younger, my gran always said to me, you've got healing hands. So I'm fortunate that I'm able to touch a person, make them feel better. I also feel good when I'm, it's like a reciprocal kind of thing. My frustrations were a lot of staff issues. I think staffing is everybody's issue, big and small businesses, but I think it was trying to keep the staff motivated with being able to pay salaries that were relevant to the industry. But I mean, the industry standards are very low, unfortunately, and what lands up happening is that girls jump around for an extra 500 rand
on the basic salary.
On the basic salary. And I think what landed up happening is that I had an accountant, I've always had an accountant, and it was quite, the structure that we had was very cut and dry. So if you made your target, you got your commission. If you missed your target by 1 rand, you didn't get your commission. And I think it was quite demotivating to have that. But from a business perspective, I had to be careful how I structured packages so that it wasn't going to be detrimental either way. And I think before you came and before we met and before we started chatting about what we could do together, I found remuneration and structure, especially from a salary perspective, very difficult to almost, what would you call it, tailor-make for that particular person, or for a massage therapist or a nail technician or a skincare therapist. So I think it was definitely staff in general, and then salary and packages.
Okay, perfect. Then what made you decide to do something about it? Because I mean, a lot of people are frustrated, but then they sort of carry on like that. What made you do something about it?
I think it was so over the 26 years, last year 25 years, I realized that I couldn't do everything myself. Really?
Yeah.
But that was obviously just before we met.
Yes.
And I'd had one or two like PA assistants helping me to get organized, because paperwork is not my strength.
Yes.
But what I found is that for me, I wanted to have more structure. I wanted to have more definite goals. I wanted to have more definite sort of incentives with the staff in particular. So I think you and I had chatted specifically about working together, but we were still sort of figuring things out.
Yes.
And because of the fact that you've got your industry experience and you've got a lot of experience having been at bigger companies, I think it gave me some sort of hope that we would be able to bring the structure in. And I think I was at a point where I wouldn't say that I would say I was frustrated. I wouldn't say I was tired. I was frustrated with sort of making the same issue, having the same problem and the same issue, and just when you've got the person just where you need them to be, because their structure is not what they thought and someone else has got something different, they would move. I think it was, like when you get uncomfortable in your business and you have to do something, or when you get uncomfortable in a position, you just have to move. I knew I needed to move and I needed to pivot. And I think it was just really, I think it was God's timing as well to put us together, because it was the right thing to do. And I mean, we've journeyed since 2019 together. So I think it was I'm actually quite the idealist, so I've got this amazing thing of how I would love things to be and should be, and so I'd like I've got these goals of I've actually got quite a wild imagination of what I'd like to see happen,
which is amazing. It's good.
You don't always know if you can actually put it into practice, but I can visualize something. I get excited about when I'm like, I know the possibility of what could happen with us working together. And I think it was the possibility of doing things differently, of having a different outcome, of feeling different as a business owner, So I think it was that really encouraged, because I was like, this is a journey. Let's get onto this and let's go for a ride. So I think it was, and also I think because of the fact that we clicked. I mean, we've always had an easy conversation and I think based on the fact, even when I was writing articles for you, your ability to put things into time frames and like, please have the article for me at this. So it also pushed me to have deadlines and to complete a job. So because sometimes I'll start something, I was like, it's amazing, and then I'm like, I'm a bit bored now. But I think to bring it to completion and to have an end and then to move on to something new has been super helpful for me as well. So bringing staff things and whatever we've achieved together, there's been a starting point, there's been a middle point and an end point, and then it's finished, completed, and then we move on to the next task. So that's been really positive for me, just in general, whether it's whatever we've worked on.
Thank you.
Pleasure. Thank you.
Okay, so what doubts or hesitations did you have to overcome before starting the coaching process with me? What doubts or hesitations did you have to overcome before us starting the coaching process?
I think the doubts that I probably had is, how do we do it, with you being in Cape Town and us being in Johannesburg. But that quickly changed during COVID, because I think we all had to pivot into Teams and
no one could get anywhere. And then suddenly Zoom.
So I think it was the fact that we were in two different provinces. And often what ends up happening is that as a business owner, you know what the benefits are, you know what the potential is, you know where you want to take your business. You don't necessarily always have the staff buy-in. So you almost have to sell it to them. I mean, although it's beneficial to people that work with you, because I mean, as we do coaching with staff, we do coaching with myself. I don't always think that the people that work with you can have or do have the same vision. I mean, it obviously makes sense. So it's to get their buy-in as well, and their participation and their excitement, I suppose.
Yeah.
But I mean, as we've seen, you work with someone who sort of comes in as like a little seedling, and then they eventually grow into this beautiful flower.
Yeah.
I think it was more just the hesitation of how do we make it happen, long distance, and then their participation. But I mean, we've overcome that, and with you doing the disc personalities, and you sort of see their strengths and how we all fit in together, I think it's been really helpful to try and see people's strengths and build on those strengths, which has been great. So I think, but there's no doubt and hesitation now.
Awesome.
Just full steam ahead.
Thank you. All right. So what would you say when we started coaching? What was the first noticeable change that you saw after we started coaching?
More regular staff meetings.
Okay.
Yeah, so sort of coming together.
And why is that important? Why was that important for you?
I think with staff meetings in general, they tend to sort of have their own sort of way of sort of starting and ending, and it tends to be a bit of a moan session actually sometimes, I think with ours, because it tends to be, or it is quite organized, and there's an agenda, and we know what we're going to talk about. Yes, of course you can bring other things in if there's other things, but if you've got an outline of what it is, I think it keeps you focused. It keeps you sort of locked into what the goals are. So I found the staff meetings and just the regular sharing of ideas, or perhaps problems, or even figures like we do to keep people motivated has been very positive. I think touch points are really important, but I think you have to keep it, if there are issues, have a separate time to do that, where you keep your staff meetings about etiquette and service and all of those sort of things. And then if there are other things that are where people are a bit scratchy, then you can always have it away from that. But I think it's just putting it in the diary, making sure that it's there, not saying, oh yeah, we'll make time for a meeting, and then it never happens. But it's actually to diarize it, to put it there. Everyone has to sit down, you put your pens down, and it's everyone together. I think that's been a huge thing for us as well. And we've maintained it and continued, which has been awesome.
Because your clinic is very busy. It's actually difficult to get an hour for everyone together.
Well, and sometimes I run late, and I'll end up coming to the meeting a half an hour late, not on purpose, and it's not to be disrespectful. Sometimes something happens. The
passion overflows.
Yes, the passion overflows, and sometimes the client overflows because they've been a bit late, whatever the case is. So I think the big thing has always been that people are also heard. So if there's a person that wants to bring up a point about how to improve stock take, it's put there, and everyone sort of has the ability to say, let's try it. So it gets heard, because I think I've always said, if you can come and if you join our business, please bring new ideas and help us be more efficient, more streamlined, save money. If you've got any ideas, let us know. And sometimes people are a little bit nervous to give you these ideas, but they come from other businesses, and maybe it works better. And I think it's a great opportunity to say, well, when I worked at the place that I was beforehand, we did it in this particular, and it ran smooth. And so you can always, I don't have all the I don't have all the answers. I don't have it's silly to think that the business owner has got all the answers, because you have to have people around you that can advise you. But it's about being heard, and it's about putting things into place that actually do have structure, and there's policies that you follow. And if someone is new and they take over, at least there's like a bit of a handbook of how you do a particular thing at front desk.
Okay, amazing. So if you now have to think back over the last 5 years, what concrete results have you seen over that period with our coaching? What stands out for you?
How much time do you have? I think personal growth. Obviously for me as a business owner, we get to meet on a regular basis. I've had to learn to let go and let it grow.
That's beautiful.
Because in the letting go, it has grown. Because in that very idealistic kind of headspace that I am, I wanted to be everything. I wanted to make sure I saw everything, I touched everything, I did everything. It's a little bit daunting because you have to trust the process. It's also a little bit daunting because you have to trust people. Not that you don't trust people from but you have to trust people that they're going to do the right thing, you know,
Yes.
that they're going to show up how you want them to show up, how they're going to talk and communicate and treat your clients how you would like them to be treated. And you know, sometimes things are not taught, they're actually caught. And so what ends up happening is that when people watch you doing things enough times, I think there's a little bit of you know, like not that they copy, but they sort of look at it and they see it and they take it on. And so I've seen in the years that you've been coaching us, a couple of staff members have got a few of my little gestures and a few of my little ways, and I was like, that's very cute. I do it like that. I think the big thing that I've really learned is more a case of to be authentic. You know, I mean, I think in the industry sometimes you do have to fake it until you make it, but not fake it in your own personality. Sometimes you have to just pretend that everything's fine while the treatment room is being fixed up. But more about being authentically Gina. You know, because that's who you are. From an energy perspective as well, it's so difficult to show up if you're not who you are. You know, if you're trying to impress someone who is just very much a human being like you are. I think the big thing has always very much been about being authentic, being true to yourself, and that shows up in the business. And with our coaching and with that, sometimes what ends up happening, I think it's also great for your staff to get to know who you are, you know. As much as it's there's a relationship that, you know, you're not buddies, you don't go and visit each other on weekends. But I think if people see who you are for who you are, I think they realize that the business that they're in is you. You know, so I think you show up in your business. And I've shown up in my business more in the last 5 years as authentically me. And because I have felt that I am supported, and very much not having to captain the ship on my own like I did for 19 years before. There's almost the space of like, oh, if I don't know, I'll just ask. If we've got an issue, I'll just ask. Maybe we can put our heads together, and you know, you've got exposure to so many of your other clients, and you know, if we've got a space we need to find possibly, you know, how can we, you know, put our heads together and figure out if there's a space to. So I've felt very supported. I have felt held. I have felt even from a staff training perspective, like I don't have to be in on every meeting to check things. I think you've also very much helped staff stand on their own 2 feet, be adults, and take accountability, which is huge, because when you run a business, you can't be responsible and accountable for everything. You know, you can't grow a business on your own, but you also can't grow a business independently with people just following you. They also have to stand up at some point and help and be accountable. So I think you've definitely helped with maturing the people, maturing the business, but in a way where we work together more positively and more cohesively. Very much so. So I have to say thank you for that. It's been amazing. We've had lots of people train with us and move on. And someone said to me the other day, she said, well, kudos to you, that's a feather in your cap, because they come and learn from you and then they go. I'm like, but they just need to stay just for a little bit longer, please. But I mean, as we know, people's journeys, when you work with people, there's always going to be change. And I, just like I did when I was 24 and I had the opportunity to spread my wings, often the young girls that are coming in with us are going off and they've not married and no children, and they off to overseas and, you know, cruise liners. But it brings us back to, I think, amazing training, amazing foundation work, where they feel comfortable enough to be able to now go and spread their wings and do something different. So so we'll be doing lots more training together, Helena.
I think for me it's just, thank you, Gina, such a privilege to develop people, and that you allow me to do that.
It's been fun. Yes, it's been wonderful to see that. So, and I think because of the fact that you've got the ability to unpack and to not expose, but to show and to, it's almost like this beautiful flower that emerges, you know. I think that growth in yourself, you feel, but when you see it in other people, it's so fulfilling. And I mean, I know that we've worked together, but I think it must be really fulfilling for you to see. To take this person and to make them into this beautiful rose.
Because I see, I mean, obviously it changes your business, but I know that it also changes that person's life.
Oh, absolutely.
Even, you know, when they move on with their journey. And I think that, it's such a privilege,
But once again, we also know that you have to have people who are willing to do that. You know, as with anything in life,
it takes two to tango.
It takes two to tango. And often what ends up happening is that, you know, if for whatever reason that particular person doesn't take on a particular thing, you know, we often look at ourselves and think, what have I done wrong? And it's like, you know, it's not. You do your very best, and that person perceives it in a certain way. They see it in a certain way. I mean, even when people come in for treatments, there's some people that are happy to continue doing treatments, and it just doesn't suit some people sometimes. So, but very much from a staffing perspective, and we know this, some people will stay and they'll take on the learning and they'll take on the challenges, and other people will say, I've had enough.
I always said when I interviewed that I look for hunger and passion. You know, doesn't matter where you are in your journey, as long as you've got those two qualities. If you're now 10 years in or 2 years in or whatever.
Because you know, we sort of rely on skill, and when you look at the CV, and it doesn't actually. I mean, often CVs are just very much papers, but passion and hunger, and teachability, being able to teach. Exactly.
Cool. So I think we have touched on it now, but in this growth process, what has changed in you? What impact has it had on you as a person?
I think one of the big things is that it's really difficult not to take things personally when something goes wrong. You know, the kind of person that I am in terms of that sort of A-type personality, everything has to be perfect and everything has to be just so, and when it isn't, it's quite tough. I've learned to be kinder to myself. I've learned to give myself some grace and some space. I've learned that things don't necessarily have to happen right now, or can't always happen right now, because I'm like, let's do this. Patience, because I did say when God was handing out patience, I was at the end of the line, and He gave me like this. They didn't give me any. Definitely patience, and it's okay to ask for help. You know, it's okay to ask for help. It's okay to say, sure, I really can't do that right now. Would you be able to assist? And when someone picks up, you're like, oh, okay, that's great. So being kinder, being gentler, you know, at some point saying, you know, you're doing a good job, just carry on doing it. Sort of, I don't easily give up. So I won't give up, but I'll be a little bit moodalus, a little bit down. I'm like, oh, okay. You know, you're allowed to have a down day, you know, but tomorrow you can get up, and you know, tomorrow's a great thing, and put on beautiful earrings, and you know, make yourself feel good, and then you can go again. So to realize you can't be perfect all the time, and you can't what's perfection to me is not perfection to you. And the little things that I see, you know, it's the small things that sometimes bug me, and I don't really have to put that much energy into the small things, put energy into the bigger things, you know. So I've learned to sort of let go and then grow. Not let go and just don't care, but just sort of say, well, let's just see how we do put this together, because you know, at some point you do have the right people working with you, and at some point you have to change, and then there's new people that come on, and I think it's that change that scares all of us, and that, I mean, we're going
people
through,
don't like change.
We're going through quite a big change at the moment as well. Just when things are going right, the carpet gets pulled
just to
out.
keep us awake.
You know? But being kinder to myself, and saying it's okay just to have. It's not going to stop. It'll just be a bit slower, and then we'll pick up again. So it's been about that.
Proud of you.
Thank you. I've always wanted to go full steam ahead, and I mean, often we've had conversations where it's okay just to, you know, take a moment to breathe. But then I also do think trusting in your own intuition,
your gut,
listening to your inner, your little, you know, the Holy Spirit speaking to you in such a way of saying do and don't. And I mean, we get given these feelings and these
whispers almost.
Exactly. and we don't listen. I didn't listen to them growing up, but now I'm like, how does this feel? Well, let me think about it, and I try not to make a decision on the spot. I'll say I'll come back to you, because sometimes you feel you have to make a decision there and then, and you don't always feel it's the right thing. So it's okay to say, guys, I need to think about it. I'll come back to you tomorrow by close of business. As we know, have it in end date, and in time. So that's probably what's been most obvious to me.
Okay. Is there anything that exceeded your expectation in our journey?
I think the length of our relationship, the breadth of our relationship, and the depth of our relationship. So it's definitely been, it was this, and now it's become this. You know, it's so, we haven't, there's not a lot we haven't touched on, you know. And so although we do business coaching and even individual coaching, we've had to deal with other things along the way. And no, I mean, I've enjoyed the journey. It's been exciting. We've had other people join us in certain things, and we've learned other, you know, so I think it's about being able to pivot together. I think it's being able to, we had this planned, and obviously that's our framework, but there's like a little path that's going that way. Let's see what that's about. Okay, we're happy. So it's been the flow. I've been quite, because sometimes what ends up happening is that you're in a relationship and the expectations are that it's just going to be a one straight road. And sometimes what happens, maybe expertise don't allow it, or a person's flexibility doesn't allow it. And then it's like, okay, that doesn't suit me anymore, let's move on. But I think we've been through a lot, and I think we have navigated that very well together, you know. I mean, we've had our differences, and that hasn't ended our relationship. We've had goods, we've had, I wouldn't say bads, but we've had scratchiness, you know. And I think that's what develops a relationship like this, you know. Being apart from one another is a challenge, because I mean, just sitting here today is so wonderful, being in your space, you know. But now that obviously I'm in Cape Town every 8 weeks and stuff like that, it's, you know, we could always do something a little bit more in person. But yeah, I think just the breadth and the fullness of our relationship is what's been so exciting, because it's really grown into something amazing, and strong and worthwhile to continue.
And I must thank you for that, because that's also you allowing it to have a height and a breadth and a depth, and you know, it's an honor for me that you allow that. Thank you very much.
It's a pleasure. It's an honor for me too, because we've journeyed on this together. So how you feel is exactly how I feel and more. So thank you very much as well.
Pleasure. Okay. So who would you recommend my coaching to?
I have recommended your coaching to not necessarily, well, I have in the industry, but there was a girl, so one of my clients lives in Los Angeles. Do you remember her? Her name's Annelie. And I'm not 100% sure which business she was in, but at some stage she needed to have some guidance in terms of marketing her business. And so, I mean, obviously I chat to my clients about the coaching and staff, and you know, sometimes clients will walk in and we're busy doing a staff meeting, and so obviously if we come back to industry, I mean, I'd recommend your coaching to all business owners, but you know, sometimes business owners don't realize that they need the coaching. So if the business owner's not taking it, that obviously therapists who want to grow, therapists who are in the industry for long enough to know that they want to be in the industry. You know, so a lot of new therapists, maybe the coaching will help them see that they do or don't. I mean, that will also help immensely. But if you've gotten into into a particular job or a particular function, you know, and you're not really sure of a new direction, or if you've become stale, or if it's become boring, I think anyone who really wants to elevate themselves, definitely from a personal coaching perspective, and then also from a managerial position, or from a therapy position. Everyone in the skincare industry and the hairdressing industry, aesthetics industry, the doctors, I mean, everyone will benefit from your coaching. So
Cool.
Where do we put your signs? Do we stand at every traffic light?
Yeah.
But you know, I mean, I think from the point of view is that you have to be willing as a person to want to learn. You know, and whatever it is, you could be front of house, you could be reception, you could be an assistant, whatever. If you want to grow and learn and develop yourself and your character and know what your strengths are, you know, I mean, we don't want to build on our weaknesses, we want to build on our strengths. And if you know what your weakness is and you've got someone that works with you in the team and they can pick that up, it's wonderful to know. But when you go through life with blinkers on all the time, no, you know. And I think on a daily basis or on a weekly or a monthly basis, when we are coaching together, okay, that was like an aha moment. I was like, why did I not think of that? Or how? Oh, that came into place. So I think once you've worked that muscle, that solution muscle, you're more likely to find another solution for it. Because you're like, I can do this, you know. We can figure this out, you know. I mean, Marie Forleo always says everything's figure outable. Everything is figure outable. Just you know, don't pay too much attention to the end goal. It's like, how do we get there? So. Yeah, it's been amazing to work together. I hope we're going to work together for a lot longer, however long we have our businesses for.
Yes.
Seeing as though we've been in the industry just for a few years.
Yeah.
But it's been great, and it's been a great journey. And we've got some new coaching just this year that's coming ahead. Obviously, we know that. But you've done so well in your business as well, and you've helped so many people, and you have Business Sanctuary, and you have communities come together. Unfortunately, I won't be able to attend your talk in
16th of Feb.
On the 16th of Feb?
Yeah.
Are you doing a Zoom?
Possibly, but we might also travel, so let's see what happens.
Okay.
Thank you, Gina.
No, it's a pleasure. Thank you for having me today. It's been amazing.
So, what would you say to someone who's sitting on the fence about starting?
You know, nothing happens in your comfort zone. Everything happens in your uncomfortable zone. So when you are comfortable and everything's flowing and everything's going well, you do need to prep for the time where something's going to be a little bit out of sorts. So I think, as with anyone, if you want to push yourself, you're going to feel uncomfortable, it's going to be challenging, but you're going to see the results afterwards. I mean, I've never really heard anyone go through a challenge and say it wasn't worth it. You most likely hear people say, I went through a challenge and it was worth it in the end, you know. So anyone that's sitting on the fence, either you got to jump or you have to have someone push you over there, you over, you know. It's like sitting on that bungee, like you want to go, but you don't want to go. So, but I honestly think that from my perspective, you know, obviously there's many different reasons and why people, you know, would need to halt or whatever. But if it's just your own inner fear, just like, guys, just jump right in and see what happens and enjoy the journey. That's what I would say. And you would be there to assist because, you know, you're not doing this on your own. You've got someone to guide you, someone to be on your journey, someone you can ask questions, someone you can make mistakes with. And, you know, we all make mistakes. That's the only way you learn. So, but I think if you're sitting on the fence, it's time, because you're on the fence. You know, at least you've got there. So I think you need to make the decision just to take the leap of faith, because inevitably it's going to be good for you as an individual, as a business, as a mom, as a daughter, as a wife, you know, as an individual. And then your energy and your positivity sort of rubs off on everyone around you, your family, your business, your friends. I think it does make a huge difference if you yourself have got that ability to say, I'm doing this. Guys, if you're coming, great. If not, I'm still going.
So I think from my side, I just want to compliment you. I think you really a power woman. I've not met anyone like you in the industry. And just to journey with you, you have the most, you're tough and you're driven, but you have the most beautiful heart and you're a respecter of people. So I'm so proud of you and how you've navigated your journey and us together. It's really been so special to me. I've really enjoyed it. I'm proud of what you are achieving in your business, Stockers of the Year, Salon of the Year, growth in your retail, growth in your total, you know, all of those things. It doesn't happen by chance. It happens with intention. So well done, Gina. I'm also excited, like you, because there's always better days ahead, because like you say, we've built a proper foundation. And then who knows how the next 25 years will look. we plan for it to be smarter.
Absolutely.
And have more downtime and holidays and those things. But I really appreciate your time. I know time is valuable. It's the one thing we can't get back. So thank you very much for your time and just sharing your heart and how the journey's been. I appreciate that.
It's a pleasure. I mean, I think from our side, often what ends up happening is that when you start something like this, you don't anticipate sitting down together 5 or 6 years later and saying, gosh, we've achieved a lot, because you tend to sort of always look, we have to do this, we haven't done that. But if you sit down and look at what we have achieved together, and I think we are the molder of people. We facilitate and we mold and we help people. But I think it's definitely been your ability to also shoot straight, say it how it is, get it done. I think your ability to also make people accountable and have tracking. When you track something, you've got history, you've got information. If you want to know the information, you have to track it. What are you tracking? What are you trying to achieve? And so it's all fair and well to say we want to increase our retail, but what are the things that we're going to put into place to get there? And you facilitated that. So if front desk is selling retail when clients are coming in, if staff are selling retail when they've done a prescription and when they've seen clients, that is all trackable and measurable. Whereas in the beginning it's like, okay, we want to do this, but now how do you do it? How do you get from the bottom of the ladder to the top of the ladder? You don't just vuma up there. It's one rung at a time. And I'm so grateful to you that I haven't had to be as I wouldn't want to say not involved, but as specific in each of those staff meetings or individual meetings, because you've had the ability to work with them. Because sometimes as a business owner, you'll say something and it comes out too harsh, like I'll say, I want you to do this, and then you'll say something, and so I'm so happy that there's a different way of you saying it, so it lands differently. So you're part of our business, you're part of the reason why we've been able to achieve it. So thank you for being there as the steady foundation, the voice behind, the hand holding, the phone calls late at night when things have gone a little bit haywire. So that support and that safety net, I think for my business has been amazing. And I think that's also why we've grown, why we've had staff come in and journey with us. And I think we've really created a space that people like working at. When people step in, I think the atmosphere and then how things are done, because we do, every business does something different, but I really can say in the last 5 years, I think people have understood the bigger picture and the reason behind Professional Skincare Lab. And the more we can get our staff and our clients to understand what our main focus is, looking after skin, making you feel better, seeing you who you are for who you are, appreciating you as a human being. I think that if everyone can exude that, when you walk into a space, you just feel like you're seen, you heard, and you're comfortable, And I think we've been able to achieve that together. So I think it's very much not necessarily only business, but very much individual people. Show up authentically as who you are, and if that authenticity is client service, and if that authenticity is kindness, generosity, looking after, everybody feels it. And the funny thing is that if people need to move on, they move on in a good way as well. So I'd like to continue relationships with people that have left and moved on, because the industry is this big, so we always have, my intention is not to burn bridges, is to always make sure that people move on happily, so because you want people to do well in whatever it is they do when they move on. When they turn around 20 years later and say, that lady that I used to work for, she helped me, and I did that. Tracy Nathan, when I worked for Tracy in 1990 footsack. You know, she taught me so many things, you know, and I'm hoping that that's going to be the same thing. You know, when I worked in there, they had the Helena and the coach and Gina. You know, I think they're going to be talking now about us for years to come. So there's our legacy.
Awesome. Thank
Together.
you, Gina.
Pleasure, Summer. Thank you so much, Helena. Yeah, pleasure. It's been amazing.
Likewise.
It's always fun, and we always have a lovely time together. And thank you for making the time to come and see me and chat together. It's really, really amazing. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Pleasure.
Cool.
There we go.
Yeah.